Hey guys, that time of day. Let's come on up into the kitchen and do a little conversation with Granna. Let's have a little kitchen talk time with Granna, okay? Before we get started though, you guys know what the routine is. Go ahead, down there, right down there at the bottom of your screen. I need you to go ahead and give me that thumbs up, okay? I need you to go ahead and share my video with all your family and friends. And if you have not become a follower or this is your first time viewing my video, go ahead and become one of my followers and hit that subscribe button, okay? As you're watching my video, make sure you share it with family and friends. You're telling them to go ahead and become a follower also. I appreciate all you guys. I really do appreciate all my supporters for giving me just a little bit of your time each week and just listening to some of the things that Granna have on her mind, okay? At the end of this conversation, you can come back and give me any reviews that you would like to give me. Now, I will tell you that today's conversation might come across to some people, I don't know how to really say it, but today we're gonna talk about the young man that was killed down in Georgia, in Brunswick, Georgia, on the 23rd of February, okay? This young man name was, I hope I'm saying his name right, but his name was Ahmaud Arbery. He was 25 years old, young black man. He was out having his morning jog or his afternoon jog. He was out jogging in this community. And as he was jogging, these two white men approach him in their vehicle, in their truck, and the father and the son approaches him. And you guys go back and watch this video because, you know, I'm gonna be skipping around. I'm not, you know, with this video. So make sure you go back and watch it for yourself and make your own opinion on it. But my opinion, and this is just Granna's opinion, when I saw this video, it was clear to me that they murdered this young man. It was very clear. This man was out for a jog, and as he's jogging, you know, these people come up on him. And it does show in the video that the son and Ahmaud was scuffling. They was having a little scuffle, but the son gets out the vehicle and approaches him and attacked him. So he was, to my opinion, he was defending himself, okay? That's what anyone would do. If someone approaches you, you're out jogging or you're out taking a walk and somebody rush up on you in a truck and they hop out the truck and come towards you and start trying to attack you, you're going to try to defend yourself as best that you can. And that's what I saw, okay? Now, this father and son, the father was trying to say that there have been some burglars in their community, you know, a few weeks before, or a few days before. So they gonna just look at him as if he was a burglar. You know, they thought he was running away from committing a crime, from committing a burglar. I mean, come on now. You, if you was that concerned and you thought this young man had committed this crime or being a burglar, even though you have that Spaniel law ground and all this stuff, of course, people use that to their advantage too. You know, why would you not have called the police? Why did you have to shoot this young man, you know? And we don't know. I don't know. It could have been played out several different ways, even if the cops had showed up. But this young man out running, lose his life. They have not to this day, as of when I saw this, I just saw this on the news, they still had not arrested this father and son. It's just crazy, you know? It's so crazy how we as like I say, I'm trying to word this because I'm not trying to make anybody feel any kind of way, but then you just have to say it as it is. You know, it is what it is. We as black people have enough that we have to worry about anyway, and especially our young black men's, or our black men's period, young or old, things that they have to worry about on top of everything else that's going on in the world. You got this coronavirus going on that started back in February also. Then you got this young man out here taking a jog, just jogging and trying to be healthy, and he lose his life because supposedly they think he's a burglar, you know. You know, it's just crazy, you know, with the way the world is. And it just basically come down to, from my eyes, in my opinion, it's never going to change when it comes to our black men. Any little thing that they do, or if they take a step to the left when they should have took a step to the right, they're going to immediately be attacked for it. They're going to immediately, the assumption that they're doing something wrong. You know, they're always going to be under the assumption that they're not being, they're not doing the right thing according to whoever it is. Okay. And you know, my heart goes out for this young man that lost his life, and to his mother. You know, listen to his mother speak about him. You know, my heart goes out to anyone that lose their life, but of course my heart goes out to this young mother and losing her son. He's out on a morning jog, and imagine having to get that phone call that someone has murdered your child because what they thought he was doing. You know, no question asked, kill, then ask question. You know, what is that? You want to kill this young man first, and then you want to say you thought he was a burglar. So backwards, doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But, you know, once again, you got to look at the world that we live in today. Okay. And that is what it is. Okay. I mean, and then I'm going to go a little bit further with you guys, you know, when it comes to our black men. So I'm going to go a little bit further. We all know that with this coronavirus going on, that, you know, it's not mandatory, but it is highly recommended that we wear a mask when we go out. Everyone to wear a mask when you go out. How about, I've seen several stories on the news when it comes to our black mans and their concern with wearing a mask when they are out and about because of harassment, of knowing they're going to get harassed, you know, by the policeman or by anyone when they're out wearing a mask. There were several black men that was interviewed just today. I seen on the news that was interviewed when it came to them being out and wearing their masks and how they was harassed. Okay, this one man, this black man, is a doctor, and he was in his front yard unloading his van or his truck, and he had his mask on. He had on one of the surgical masks, and he had it on. So this cop pulls up and basically, you know, approach him very aggressive, you know, and started asking him what he doing. And when he was trying to explain, hey, I'm just unloading my truck, this officer handcuffs him, you know, demand him to turn around, handcuff him, you know, and his camera that he has in his home is video recording all this and stuff. And then he walks him over to the other side of the street where he's parked at and put him up against the car and all this stuff because he has a mask on, you know. And then of course his wife comes out to see what's going on, and you know, the cop goes ahead and uncuff him, and you know, he walks back over there. But all this because he assumed that someone was breaking in a car or breaking in somebody's vehicle or whatever the case may be, and you know, and approaching this young man and just taking it to the screen without trying to find out what's going on, you know. And then there was an incident with two young men. They was in a department store. They had their masks on, and they had went out to the department store to buy supplies, cleaning supplies. So they're walking through the store. This is a big major department store. They're walking through the store, and of course, you know, I guess somebody suspect them of not doing the right thing, or suspect them of in there trying to steal or whatever the case may be. And they call the police on them. So when the police get there, he walking behind them, just walking behind them. Everywhere they go in the store, he's right behind them, you know. And so finally he asks them to take off their masks, and they was like, why we gotta take our masks off? You know, we was told if you're out to wear a mask. Well, it's against the ordinance in this store. In this store, you're not allowed to wear a mask. What do you mean you're not allowed to wear a mask when it is told by the governor if you go out to wear a mask? But now you want to harass me or harass them and follow them around the store, asking them to remove their masks, and they need to leave the store because they have a mask on. You know, they have a mask on. What I don't get that. You know, and this is right now during this corona thing, that they're just out there trying to pick up supplies and wearing this mask. So, you know, it's crazy, the things that our men have to go through. You know, these two young men, they left the store and they started recording. Once the policeman approached them, they started recording the whole conversation and what was going on, as they just basically stopped shopping and they left the store. They was walking out the store, and then later on they updated that. I mean, they uploaded their video onto Facebook, I believe they did. But they was just saying that they simply went there to pick up some supplies. They was following the guidelines that the governor had set out. If you're out and about, to social distance and wear your mask, and they're being harassed. You know, it's crazy. It is so crazy to me that in this year, this is 2020, and we still cannot enjoy or do the things that we feel free to do, and not always be in the state of mind, or have to be in the state of mind if someone is going to harass you, shoot you, kill you, or whatever the case may be. You know, you can't even go out for a simple walk. I walk every day in this community that I live in, and it is something to think about. You know, one person may see you walking that haven't seen you walking before and think, what is she doing in this community? Why is she walking over here in our community? You know, not even thinking that I might actually live in this community too. I actually can possibly afford to live in this community too. This community is not just designated for certain people, you know. But those are the things that we have to think about when we're out and just doing our normal routine. You know, you have to think about when your grandson or your son or your nephew or your cousin or your uncle go out, if they're going to be coming back home, if someone going to think they're doing something and take their life before they ask any questions. And that's what it seems to be a lot of the time. They kill, then they ask the question, or then they want to investigate and find out what's going on. They don't give the person, I guess the victim or the person they think is doing wrong, they don't give them the opportunity to explain to you what they're doing or why they're in the area that they're in. This young man, Mr. Ahmaud Arbery, was not even given the opportunity to just simply say, I was just jogging. I'm just out taking me a jog for today. You know, just because two other human beings took it upon themselves to be his trial, his jury, his Lord, you know, they took all his rights away from him and made a decision that made the decision to prosecute him for something he did not do, and took his life. But he had no trial. He had, you know, no jury. They was all of that. They did all that and made that decision to take this young man's life. And then you want people to sit back and accept this excuse that you have put out there, that you thought you was protecting your community because this young man was a burglar. He was burglarizing folks. It's 2 against 1 from the start. It's 2 of y'all, and it's only 1 of him, and he's jogging, and y'all are riding around in this vehicle that weighs over a ton, rushing up on somebody. And what do you expect for him to do? So you decided to be his jury, his judge, his prosecutor, and all that. I don't get it. I do not get how so many times we have seen this, and each time we've seen this, the accuser or the person that does these things always seems to get away with it. I don't care if this man, I think what Michael was their name. I don't care if he was previously a detective. I don't care what his previous job title was or what made him, whether he had the instinct, he had something in his gut saying that this is what was happening. I don't care about any of that. You took a human being life. You took it upon yourself to be God, or you took it upon yourself to be all these other things that should have took place, you know, should have went through the justice system if you truly believe this person was a burglar. He did not have the opportunity to defend himself one way or the other. And when he tried to defend himself, you and your son took his life away from him. You know, I don't get it. If as many lives that we have lost in the Black community would have been done the same in other communities, oh, it would be a problem. It would be a big problem for other communities if the same thing was going on and we was witness these same acts that's happening to our people, the Black people, the brown people. If these same thing was happening to other communities or other cultures or other races, it would be a problem, you know. So I don't get it. I would never get it. I would never understand it. And I send my condolences out to this family that lost their son, their brother, their cousin. I send my condolences out to them. I pray that the people, the two gentlemen that did this to him, that justice be done to them, that they get they just due. You know, I don't know what the outcome will be. None of us knows. But the way it's looking right now, I don't know. It's not going to happen. They haven't even arrested them, you know. So I hope all this work out, you know. And it's just something for us to keep in the back of our minds that don't matter what year it is, no matter how much time has passed and went by, you always going to have someone out there that hates other races, regardless. You know, you have people out there that hate Chinese people. You have people out there that hate Japanese. You have people out there that hate Jamaicans. You have people out there that hate Jewish. You have people that hate Italian. So you have people that hate Cubans. So you always got people out there that hate another race. But hopefully one day people will come together and learn how to be kind and care about other people's life. I don't know when that's going to happen. I feel bad for the way the world is, but that is what it is. And it's something that we're going to have to continuously prepare ourselves for when we step out of our front doors. We have to be on guard once we go through the front doors and enter out into the world. And it doesn't matter if it's Georgia, it doesn't matter if it's Alabama, Tennessee, California, Nebraska, Ohio, it doesn't matter. It's someone in every state that feels the way this man and his son felt, okay? So it's someone in every state that feels that same way, okay? So I'm just gonna go ahead and end it there because I'm getting a little hype about this situation and this subject. But you know, just go back and just look at all the stuff that's going on, not only with this young man losing his life, but just when it comes to a young Black person or a Black person period, especially our men wearing the mask to try to be safe in what they're facing as they go out to pick up their necessities by having that mask on, how they're being harassed and how they're being looked at, okay? So just go back and you can Google it, and a lot of these stories will pop up when you do that. And just, you know, just look at it. It ain't something that I'm making up or something that I'm saying. These are true facts. These are facts. These are things that are happening every day with something that we're only trying to be safe and to protect ourselves. And we have to worry about being harassed or being arrested or being asked to leave a store because you have a mask on and there's other people walking around with masks on, but you're suspicious. You're the one that they're having to ask to leave this store, okay? All right, thank you guys for just giving me a few minutes to get that off my chest. I appreciate it, okay? If you have time, go back, give me any comment that you would like to give me about this conversation or any of the conversation that we've had. When you're out and about, Spread the love. Give a smile to everybody. Make sure you're wearing your mask. Stay positive. Be patient. We're still going through this coronavirus. Just stay patient, okay? And everybody, just have a great day. Have a great day.